The Vietnam War, which lasted from 1955 to 1975, was a protracted and brutal conflict that deeply affected Vietnam, the United States, and the world. It was marked by fierce combat, intense political controversy, and significant social upheaval, leaving a lasting legacy. Background and causes. The roots of the Vietnam War lie in the colonial history of Vietnam and the broader context of the Cold War. Vietnam had been under French colonial rule since the 19th century, but after World War II, the country sought independence. In 1945, the Viet Minh, a communist-led nationalist movement led by Ho Chi Minh, declared independence from France. This led to the First Indochina War, 1946 to 1954, where the Viet Minh fought against French forces. The war ended Geneva Accords, which temporarily divided Vietnam into two states: the Communist North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh, and the anti-communist South Vietnam, supported by the United States and other Western nations. The rise of conflict. The division of Vietnam was supposed to be temporary, with nationwide elections planned for 1956 to reunify the country. However, these elections were never held, as the South Vietnamese government, under President R.Nagmdeen, refused to participate, fearing a likely victory by Ho Chi Minh. Tensions between North and South Vietnam escalated, with the North supporting communist insurgents, known as the Viet Cong, who sought to overthrow the South Vietnamese government. The United States, driven by the Cold War policy of containment, aimed at preventing the spread of communism, began providing military and financial support to South Vietnam. U.S. involvement escalates. U.S. involvement in Vietnam steadily increased throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s. Under President John F. Kennedy, American military advisors were sent to assist the South Vietnamese Army. However, as the Viet Cong insurgency grew stronger, the situation deteriorated. In 1964, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, in which U.S. naval vessels were allegedly attacked by North Vietnamese forces, led Congress to pass the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. This gave President Lyndon B. Johnson broad authority to escalate U.S. military involvement in Vietnam. By 1965, the U.S. began a sustained bombing campaign against North Vietnam, Operation Rolling Thunder, and committed large numbers of ground troops. The war intensifies. The Vietnam War quickly became a full-scale conflict. American forces, along with their South Vietnamese allies, fought against the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese Army, NVA, in a brutal, unconventional war characterized by guerrilla tactics, ambushes, and jungle warfare. Despite superior military technology and firepower, U.S. forces struggled to defeat the highly motivated and resourceful communist fighters. The war became increasingly unpopular in the United States, with growing anti-war protests and a deeply divided public. The 1968 Tet Offensive, a massive coordinated attack by the Viet Cong and NVA on South Vietnamese cities during the Vietnamese New Year Tet, marked a turning point. Although militarily unsuccessful for the Communists, the Tet Offensive shocked the American public and media, undermining U.S. confidence in winning the war.